So welcome again to this lesson, and in this lesson we are going to discuss how you can find writing jobs for yourself and also for your team. So when you are beginning out, you are relatively new to the field, okay? And so the first people that are going to be of use to you are your immediate network. Okay, these are the people who know you at a personal level. These are the people in your contact list. Okay, your family members, your friends and friends, and also the business in your local space. Okay, maybe if you are targeting local shops, local retail stores, local restaurants, uh, those are the kind of people who are going to make it your first clients. So these are the people you can really reach out to, you can talk to at a personal level and pitch your services. Okay, and for example, if you are targeting restaurants, where do you get your snacks? Where do you get your coffee? Or when you need a drink, where do you go and get it? Those are the kind of people you need to approach at first. So for the restaurant people, where you go to get your snacks, to get your coffee, those are the first few people who you are going to pitch your work to. And when you're going to approach them, you are going first of all to understand the kind of problems they are facing in their business and also have a way of providing a solution. So most of these businesses, from my own experience, I have noticed that they lack a way of increasing their sales and also generating revenue and also managing their revenue as well as reaching to their customers and getting real-time feedback. Okay, and so if you have a way of providing a service that can solve those pain points, okay, a service that can be able to maybe tell their customers about new dishes, new menu, and also get feedback from their customers, and also provide them with the exposure that they need to their clients. So these business will be able to be they are more than willing to pay for you to provide those services. Why? Because these are these problems that they are saving that they are having, they when they are alleviated, when their solution is provided, it can increase sales first of all, which will also mean that it can be easily measured. It is a key performance indicator in a business like that, and you are going to have more revenue that is resulting from the sales, and also from the revenue they'll be able to get more profits. And the good thing about content writing is that these solutions, when you provide the clients with, they are most of the time they are long term, because when you have done your diligence, the content that you have created is supposed to generate the customer long term benefits because it is organic in nature. Okay, and therefore they will see your value in the long term, and this is where it gets sweet, because the client will be able to see your value and contact you when they need a service like that. Okay, and when it works for them, they start reaching out on your behalf. Yes, through a word of mouth to their friends and relatives when it is the case. Okay, for example, in Kenya, where I normally work, there is a time I had a client who for some one reason or another, their culture used they support each other as a family. So when you have one person who is maybe the elder, and now they have a little brother or a sister who is having a problem, they combine the firstborn helps the secondborn, and the first born, the second born helps the third born, and then by the time if it's a family of 6, the sixth person will be helped by 5 people. And with that, they have a web of businesses. So as a content writer or as a freelance writer, when your work is marketable and it is working, and now when it is working for one person, he or she is going to refer you to the rest of the contact list in that web, and through that you'll be getting recurrent revenue or recurrent sales, or maybe recurrent clients, or through which you'll be getting your revenue for some period of time. For example, for me it lasted for 14 months. 14 months, and it was a good interaction. It was a good interaction because I never had a problem with the clients. In fact, I enjoyed working more for them, and I only received one contact because from the first contact, then I was able to get the other ones, but I was saving them. For example, if it is a shop, because they had a retail store. They also had 2 restaurants, and also they had a taxi business. Yes, and another one had a hardware. Yes, so from that web or a chain, I was able to get good business for almost 1.5 years. Yes, and that was a holy grail for me. I don't know if it is not typical, but I guess if you do good work, you'll be able to get these things working. So that is the first place to get your client. That is your immediate network. Second, you can do advertisements and promotions. So I know as you are scrolling over your social media, you see advertisement and promotions. And when we see promotions, I am talking about content promotion or content marketing. And this is where you write content on your website, because as a freelance writer or a content writer, you need to have a website through which you'll be supporting or directing your clients to from a central point. And your website is supposed to serve as a marketing tool, and also a place where people can know about you, a source of interaction. Okay, and through that, through content promotion and content marketing, you can get organic clients. And what I mean by organic clients, these are people who are in need of your services, because in business there are 2 kinds of clients. One, they are active clients or customers, and they are dormant customers. So for the dormant customers, these are people who have a problem and they are not searching for a solution, but they have a problem and they know they have a problem with their business, but they're not actively searching for a solution. And these are the kind of people who are going to give you more money than those who are active. So, and then the active ones, these are people who are aware of their problems and they are looking for a solution. They're actively searching over the internet, over Google. They are searching for a solution to their problem. And so these are people who you can leverage to get your first revenue. Because they are more willing to pay. And these are the people who my professor in campus used to say that the first people who are going to use your services, these are people who have a problem like he used analogy of a person with a burning hair. Yes, so a person with a burning hair can use anything or within his reach or her reach to put out the fire so that he can stop hurting. And so the first people who are going to save you some money, give you some money to do some work. These are people who have a real problem, and whatever is in the market is not working for them, and so they're actively looking for something else which can be able to work. And if they see value in your work, they're going to buy it. Yes, and these are your first, and even if your work is substandard, they will work with you and help you become better and better. And through this way, you'll be able to learn on the job. And as we say, 99% of the skills, they are learned on the job. They are not learned doing practice and so forth. They are learned on the job, because on the job, that is when you know what really works and what doesn't work. So for example, in these course, I am teaching you the basics and how to prevent the common pitfall that most content writers face, and most of them do not make it to the second year. Yes, or not even a second year, the first 6 months, because it is a hard task for many. Many come with many expectations, and most leave with nothing. Yes, with nothing, because they go and scrap over the internet, and they get generic information from somebody who has even never written, and he has written an article to market himself, and he has never done anything with his life. Because the internet is full of opinions, okay, and when you get something that is working, I can assure you, anything that is valuable is for sale. And if you are not paying for anything, just know it's either you are the product, or somebody is taking advantage of your time, of your valuable time, and you know time is the only thing that is valuable to man. Okay, and so from advertisement and promotion, and also content marketing, the other thing that you can use, the other avenue that you can use to get writing jobs is through cold emailing and cold calling. So what do we mean by cold emailing and cold calling? Remember, when I was talking about dormant and active clients or prospect, let's call them prospects because they are not yet your clients. For the dormant, they know they have a problem, but they are not looking for a solution. And then the active clients, the active clients, they know they have a problem and they are searching for a solution. But it is not easy to differentiate between the two. So what we do, you go online and you search for local businesses and online magazines and online businesses that they need your services, okay, that you see and fit within your service brackets. And then you collect their contact information. So for most of these, if they have an online presence, they will either have their phone number or indicated on the contact list, or their email. Okay, and when you have collected these two, either of the two, you need to know who is responsible for making decisions. This can be a department manager, can be an owner, okay, or a procurement officer. And then after you have discovered who makes this decision, the hiring decision, who is responsible for making things work. Okay, if you're in tech, or in HR, or in accounting, you know who is responsible for managing finances, who is responsible for making decisions amounting to employees and business strategy, for example. And once you know their name, or their client, or their job description, or their job title, maybe you know that this is the owner, this is the manager, you are the one who is responsible, and you are going to talk with him. Now you scrap the name, and then you call them. And when you call them, you don't go straight and talk about my name is blah blah blah, For example, my name is Moses, and I am calling you from Dolan Managers, and I provide this service. That is a sales pitch, and they are going to cut off. And so, what you do, if you want to talk to the right person, you call with a tone that is confused. Yes, you are not sure who you are going to talk with, and first of all, you have to, when you call, you introduce yourself, that is your name, then what you do. Maybe, for example, I'm a business consultant, and so I would go on and say, my name is Moses, I'm a business consultant. I was wondering if, for example, there is a problem, okay? And so you state the problem, and you ask if you are talking to the person who is responsible for making the decisions. And so after you do that, the person on the phone is going to respond with either you are talking to the right person or not. And if you're not talking to the right person, you ask to be directed to him, or be put on the phone with him or her, so that you can leave a voicemail in case they need a solution with that problem, and then they can reach you. And with that is a very retro favor that can be done, and therefore you are not giving the person you are calling a very big obligation to work for you, and he or she doesn't know you, and by that you will be forwarded to the person. If the person is online at that time or is available, you get a chance to talk to them and know if their pain point is going to be solved in your case. And if not, well and good, they will have your contact information, and whenever they have a problem, they can always reach out to you. And if not, you move on to the next person. Okay, yes, you move on to the next person, because that is not the end of the world. The end of the world comes when you have something to eat and you have solved a real life problem. Yes, and through that you get more satisfaction when you're dealing with problems and having solutions. Oh my God, that is when you will feel alive if you're a content writer. Okay, and that is how you get jobs. And the last thing I want you to remember is that there is a difference between a content marketplace and working with private clients. But if you see, I'm going the route of private clients, because the private clients, you have more can say what more freedom to go to leverage on them, and also you control everything about the work. Okay, but if you're in the content marketplace, let's say Upwork, first of all, they are or Fiverr, they are going to deduct you some commission fee, and then from there, everything if they are responsible for making any communication or interaction between you and the client. So when the Upwork or the content marketplaces, they act as intermediaries, and if they are removed, you don't have the client. So because, for example, for a job board, for example, like ProBlogger, yes, the client has to pay money to post a job there. So they are very cautious, and they are very serious on that. And if a client posts a job there, it means also there is a lot of competition from other freelancers, and I don't want you to get into that, because it is going to waste you a lot of money, a lot of time, because time is equals to money, and time is the only resource that you have, and once you lose it, it is very expensive. You cannot get it back. Okay, and even if you in the future you start leveraging on it, you'll be paying for it indirectly. And so I don't want you to waste your time going to Upwork, Fiverr. Yes, they are good place to start with. Maybe to get your pitch direct and going, so that you can know what works and what doesn't work. Because even if you go to the private clients, you still have to write the pitch. You also need to write the professional, that is what is it called, proposals. Yes, a proposal, so that you can be able to define the milestones and deliverables for the project, and when they are supposed to be delivered and when not to. And so with that, we are going to talk more about this later. Yes, and let's meet the next video. Okay, have a nice time.